Hi, this is Ask Anna, and we are always going to focus on your questions and the things that you think are important to talk about in terms of after trauma growth and recovery. So today we're going to read something from a post on social media, and this is from Elizabeth. And Elizabeth writes, I currently work in an incredibly toxic environment which shows no signs of improving. The daily drama and gossip is at best exhausting. I want to bring peace into my life. How am I going to do that? What an incredible declaration. I so understand what it's like to go through something like that, and it is so difficult when we find ourselves in an environment that is not supportive, where we feel somehow under attack and not appreciated. That is a difficult place to be.
First, do not let the behavior of others destroy your inner peace.
First, let's just think about the idea that we can be in an environment and recognize that this does not need to reflect who we are, that we can separate from the toxic environment and the people, maybe, and the comments that represent that toxicity, and not let it reflect who we are or what we want to stand for.
Years ago, I worked as a tree planter in Northern Ontario. It was really demanding and exhausting work. I was terrible at it, but that's another story. Now, as a dedicated vegetarian from the time that I was 16 years old, I had to make sure that I had meals that were good and healthy for me. So in my nicest manner, I told the cook of my situation, and I asked that he offer something other than red meat at every meal. I was getting hungry. Well, the next meal, he made salad with bacon. Then for breakfast, scrambled eggs with sausage in the eggs, and then bacon again. I was pretty devastated, and somehow I felt this reflected on me and represented my own worth as a person. Apparently, I wasn't even worthy of a meal. It took me a lot of years of growing up to realize that his behavior had nothing to do with me, and that my hurt feelings had everything to do with my own insecurities in the moment. I needed to see the situation correctly, and at the same time, I just couldn't separate his behavior with my own feelings of self-worth.
Recognize that your most important thing to do is to stop and listen. Understand where your own inner reactivity is coming from and what's making you feel vulnerable in this moment. Because sometimes when people make comments, it can be something from the core of us that gets ignited and makes us feel incredibly vulnerable. So sit with that piece and understand. When you feel that inner experience, allow yourself to breathe through it and give yourself the time to really allow yourself to sit quietly and understand that these difficult moments are not you, and that you can separate from them, breathe through them. And finally, just recognize that it's time for you to declare who you want to be and what you want to stand for. So if you want to stand for doing the right thing, regardless of how other people behave, own that too.
Let's recap quickly. Do not let the behavior of other people destroy your peace. Stop and listen. Where is my reaction coming from? Allow yourself to breathe and reflect. Let your inner wisdom grow and declare who you want to be and what you want to stand for.
And finally, just claim your good trauma recovery work. Own it and make today count.